What's going on, y'all? It's the kid Mitch Mula, and we now have the first episode of Sacrifice Season. After months and months and months of people telling me to do this, I decided we just going to go ahead and do it, see what happens, you know what I'm saying? So, basically what this channel is about is prominent people, celebrities, people that everybody looks up to. We're going to talk about their demise, whether it was a sacrifice or not, or if somebody met their demise around them and then they ended up rising to fame. We're going to talk about if that was a sacrifice or not. Now, this first episode is going to be a two-part episode, two different videos, one episode. The premise behind it is going to be the connection between Static Major, Aaliyah, and Lil Wayne. Now, I know most of y'all know who Aaliyah and Lil Wayne is, of course. Big names, big artists. But a lot of people may or may not have heard of Static Major. But what you don't know is Static Major is a very integral part in both of them people's careers. And we're going to get into the connection between him and them both in this first episode. This episode, we're going to start with the connection between Static Major and Aaliyah. Let's first just give a little bit of background about Aaliyah. You know, Aaliyah is from Detroit. Her uncle Barry Hankerson introduced her to R. Kelly, and they made her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. After that, a bunch of controversy started between those two. Her and R. Kelly went their separate ways. She then went on to continue her career on her own, linking up with other producers and songwriters. She linked up with Missy and Timbaland for her second album. They came with a lot more hits, kept her career going. Hits like, you know, One in a Million, 7-Page Letter, Are You That Somebody? You know, these are very popular songs from Aaliyah. Now, the latter of those three songs I named, Are You That Somebody, was written by Static Major. So to get into the connection between Aaliyah and Static Major, I'm gonna first start by going through the list of songs that he wrote for her, because I know you may not know who he is, but you know his work. So let's get to the list of songs that he wrote for Aaliyah only. We're not even talking about other artists in this episode. We're talking about what he wrote for Aaliyah only. He wrote Are You That Somebody, Rock the Boat, Try Again, One in a Million, More Than a Woman, Miss You. Okay? That's just a couple. I'm sure there's more, but that's just off the top of my head that I could remember. So, as we all know, 2001 is when Aaliyah tragically was in a plane accident and is now no longer with us. There's a lot of speculation and rumors behind what happened to lead to that, behind the reasoning behind it. There's a lot of talk about it. We don't know. Was that a sacrifice? If you're unaware, when she passed away, Mary J. Blige got on 106 & Park that week and referred to her passing as a spiritual sacrifice. Pardon me, a spiritual murder. Why would somebody get on national TV, especially somebody with a platform like Mary J. Blige? Why would you get on national TV and refer to one of your peers' death, which has been reported to be an accident, as a spiritual murder? That's crazy to me. People don't realize that words mean things. Words mean things. People say certain words, they mean things. You cannot just you can't just brush over it and act like, oh, that's just how people talk. Nobody talks like that. Somebody was in a plane crash and then somebody came out and said that their passing is a spiritual murder. Does that make any sense? That's not the point of the video. So like I was saying, a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations about what happened to Aaliyah and why it happened the way it happened. But as it relates to Static Major was around for years and years after Aaliyah. He didn't go until 2008. In between that time, I don't know what he knew. I don't know what he could have found out. But I do know that the way he went was very, very, very weird. Very weird and hard to explain. But we're going to get into that in the next video as it relates to Lil Wayne. So the connection between Static Major and Aaliyah, I'm just going to talk about some things they have in common. They both came up under the same production camp, under Devontae Swing, the producer for Jodeci. Swing Mob is what it was called. Members of the Swing Mob include Timbaland, Missy, Tweet, Genuine, Aaliyah, one of the vocalists, and Static Major, the prominent writer of the group. So they both came up together, and they did a lot of work together, and he wrote a lot of her biggest songs. The album that she made and put out right before her passing, he is the biggest writer on the album. He wrote all the hits from that album. So it's hard to convince me that it's a coincidence that she went the way she did and he went the way he did. It's also rumored that they were an item at one point, they was dating at one point, and when he wrote Are You That Somebody, he wrote that about her. I don't know how true that is, and really it don't even have nothing to do with the topic at hand. We need to know if her passing was a sacrifice or if his passing was a sacrifice. We basically have covered the extent of the connection between Aaliyah and Static, but in the next video, we're gonna go more in depth into Static's passing, and we're gonna go in depth into his connection with Lil Wayne. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow. We just starting out, man. And stay tuned for the next video, Static Major, Lil Wayne. I'm gone. Mitch Moolah. You dig.